Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ingus and I'm from IGS Electronics, and today we're going to be starting a new playlist, and that playlist is going to be S300 series PLC modules and things like that. Anything to do with S300 series. Obviously what we're going to do is like we did with the S200 series as well. We were jumping backwards forward. Sometimes we do different PLCs and then we come back to it. So basically this playlist is going to be fully dedicated for S300 series PLCs, and there is a ton of videos that I'm planning to do when it comes down to all different types of cards that come with it, and testing them, wiring them. We're going to be checking them all out left and right, and so getting us pretty much familiarized with what S300 is and how to more or less fault find and all the things like that that comes with it. And as you probably already know, if you've been part of the channel, I am not much into programming. I'm more into the servicing of the PLCs itself and the hardware, looking after the hardware and understand how things work, and that's what we do. So that's what all these videos is going to be all about. We're going to be using TIA Portal V16 in my case. Most of the S300 series PLCs are fully supported by TIA Portal. Sometimes if your PLC has been programmed by very early TIA portals, then you might need to download older versions of TIA portals. It very much depends on how old and when the actual programming has happened, and in some rare cases you will need step 7 to download the program onto it. And then do believe there is, I've never had to do it yet, but there is a way to upgrade from a older version, which is I think is 5.5 or something, step 7.5 or something like that. Sometimes you will need that program, but in our case, most PLCs are fully supported by TIA Portal, and you should be able to do programming and whatever else you're trying to do with the TIA Portal. But sometimes again, you will need to have older version to be able to basically download a project from the actual PLC to be able to start editing, and then you can sort of upgrade it and things like that. But again, those are good things we're going to be looking at possibly in the future. But key ones today, we are going to be checking out the CPU, which in my case is going to be CPU 313C, and pretty much it looks like that. These CPUs come in different shapes. So I got like one CPU that comes with that side. Some of them are coming with the safeties and things like that, but those all we are going to be check out in the future as we progress, because I do a lot of testing of the PLCs. Obviously, as you probably know already, I'm more or less in the business buying and selling, so that's what I do. I have to test the product before it goes down to customers, and then I thought I'll bring you guys along to show you how I do all that process. So today we are going to connect the PLC to our laptop and download the program out of it from the PLC into the laptop, and sort of work like download, upload today, and hardware configuration. So any related manuals in there, I do believe are going to benefit you in any possible way. Do check out in description below, and quite often I leave some pretty good content down there for you to look at and read up on it if you are not lazy. I know the manual sometimes is absolute pain to read, but sometimes it gives you some very valuable information to understand the product. So yes, so without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty, so before we get started, let's go through and have a look at the first setup that we're gonna have in here. I have a Siemens power supply in here, which actually is built to fit on these back plates in here, which is designed by Siemens to more or less fit these cards. So you don't have to have this power supply. This power supply can be any power supply as long as it's 24-volt DC. It's just this one in here has been built perfectly to fit on this panel, sort of looks good and fits together. But if you ever have a fault and the power supply is burned down, you can substitute that for any other power supply. Obviously, hopefully a high quality one. And so yeah, this is the power supply in here. So next one we have a CPU, but this CPU is like a combi unit. So you can see this one in here. This unit in here is one unit, and then it comes with pretty much everything that you would normally need, because you can see in here, this one in here right next to it, I've got my analog card with some digital inputs in here. There's all sorts of different analogs in there. We're going to be checking them out in the future, and also have digital input and digital output. And obviously the CPU is one MPI port, and it's got 24-volt DC supply right there in the bottom. And of course it's got this memory card in it as well. that would store the program for us. So as you can see already, the cable we're going to be using for communications is going to be a PC adapter USB A2. I do believe this is their latest, the last release they released for these CPUs. I do believe, don't think there's newer ones out there or different ones. There's older versions of different kinds, but not this kind. So yeah, that's what we're going to be using. This is the converter from serial to USB, which it is very, very easy to set up within TIA Portal, which we're going to get to in a minute. So before we get started, let's have a look at the. So you have this option in here that you can remove these connector blocks. If you haven't seen it, I'll show you. So if you ever need to replace the unit, you don't need to dewire anything. You just unplug it and you plug it back in. Quite straightforward, pretty cool. I like that. So most of the manufacturers do that. So easy remove, because who wants to do the rewiring? So, and after that, this is that kind of block, which is 32 pin for 32 points. And then we have a digital input card in here. That's the one we're going to be adding in a minute. So, and this one's got 16. And that one removes literally by clicking a button, and it literally comes out and fairly easy and comes off it straight away. So that's the one we're going to be adding on our system for our future little projects that we're going to be working on. And also you can see down there I have a pin in here that there's like a joiner block in here. That's what joins connects this card with this card, pretty much marries them all together. Mainly for communications, there is no power going through it that much. It's mainly for communications. So yeah. So because we're going to be adding another card, what we're going to do in here, we're going to add another one in here, so we can prep ourselves for the next card as well. And also as well, if you can't be bothered with the screws, you can get the blocks that is with the push-ins like that, and as well the same removal in here comes off it like that. So let's remove that one, because I'm not going to be expanding at this time anymore. So we're going to add this card into it as well. So here we go. So this is our setup in here. So if we power it up, and I know on the configurations, this unit in here is it's fully configured just to be this unit, but as you can see on here, it's not going to come up with any SFs, but that does not mean that it recognizes these two cards. So that's something that we need to go in the TIA Portal and find out and then make sure these are configured to be recognized by this CPU. At the moment, it only detects if I remove the card, it will go into SF. But if I remove it, reset it, and then go put it back in a run, as you can see, it will clear the error and say that it is okay within the CPU. And if I add it, there we go, then it does the same thing. It goes back, it goes in SF. It sort of detects when the card gets added or removed while it's powered, but the configurations, it doesn't do the configurations for you, because that's something you need to do yourself within the TIA Portal. So that's what we're going to be looking at right now. So all this wiring is coming up in the future videos. We're going to wire all sorts of things into it to play with some cool stuff with it. So having done that, let's jump on a TIA Portal and get this all configured. Alrighty, so here we are. So first thing we're going to look at is a semantic manager here. This guy in here. This is the old semantic manager. And by the way, guys, if you want to program any of the S300, 400, and 1500 series PLCs, you do need to have professional version of a TIA Portal, or well, if you are very old CPU, then semantic manager. And it is quite a pricey, and by the way, TIA Portal will be one price, and you have to buy the semantic manager separately will be other prices. It becomes quite pricey if you do need to have it. So and you can actually convert the steps semantic manager what they call the programs to the TIA Portal. I think you need TIA V13, and again, if you bought the V16 professional, you have automatically access to all the older versions as well. Not the newer versions, but you have access to all the versions free of charge. So this is a semantic manager in here, and this is the old way. This is the old program that used to be used to program semantic PLCs, Siemens 300, 400 series PLCs. And if you go into the CPUs, you can see there's a whole list of CPUs. And believe it or not, all the CPUs I have, I've got about four or five of them or something like that, and I have none of them on this list. So this is how it just indicates how old some of these CPUs are. So if you do need it, if your TIA Portal will usually tell you that you have to will literally pop up a message of what you need to do if your program cannot be uploaded from the PLC. So yeah, in rare cases you will need Semantic Manager for you to move forward, and then you need to migrate it, and then you need both programs. It is a bit sketchy. If I ever get I haven't got any of the Semantic Manager programs, so I can migrate it. But if I do get it, I'll definitely make a video of it. So, having said that, let's go into TI16 and get ourselves all set up and ready to go with this. So first thing what we need to do, we need to add a device. Add a new device, and then we're gonna go into the CPU. As you can see down here, right in the bottom, it actually says it's an unspecified CPU. The S1500s and 1200 series PLC you can actually detect. This one doesn't have the detection for it, so I'm not sure what that is there, but anyway. So the one we're gonna use it, which is CPU 313C, which is 5BG04. I'm pretty sure that's 5BG. That's our CPU right here. And it's got set firmware version, so let's do this. So and it will open that into your what they call project itself. So once we are in the project in here, what we're going to do in here, so now that we have got the main CPU, we are able to download the actual program out of it. So what we're going to do in here, we're just going to go online, select how we're going to go online with the MPI, and it's going to be PC adapter USB A2, and then we have to search and let him find the PLC. Here is our PLC CPU 313C. Thank you. Let's go online. What we're going to do, we're going to get the program out first, and I'm going to show you some tricks, some ideas how you can sort of diagnose what is going on with your PLC if some things are not working. So yeah, and then as you can see, this guy upload from device has lit up now, so it says you are able to do that now. So let's go into it and do that. So get the program out. So here we go. So upload from the device. Quite straightforward. They made it really easy these days now. So that's what I like about Siemens. They look into the future and get things updated properly. So it makes it easier. So let's go offline now. What we're going to need to do, we need to add those two cards now, the ones we just added. So and then we're going to need to go hardware catalog, and I already opened them up in here just in the hand, because usually you basically all you need to do is search, put your part number in a search, and they will find exactly the card for you. So our digital input card is 1BH02 321, yeah, 321 1BH02. So that's us, and it shows you, as you can see, all the blue ones are light up. It shows you where you can place it. So we're going to place it right there. So and same thing we're going to do to a digital output, and I do believe our digital output was the BH01 322. So 322 BH01, that's the one in here, and we're going to put that one in there. So now, as you can see, the CPU is not really showing us any errors. It doesn't say there's any problem and things like that. So if you want to find out is your cards in it, add them into your a project window. So what's it called? The device view. In there, you can add the cards in and then go online. So once you go online, you'll be able to see that if the cards are configured within the CPU or not. As you can see, my ones are showing. In here, it shows not reachable, so the cards are not being configured with the CPU. So that's what we need to do. So we're going to go back offline now. And then go onto the CPU, and we're going to save. Now that we already got the program out, so we added the new cards. So what we're going to do, we're going to pump all these configurations into the PLC now. So here we go. It's compiling everything, getting all ready. There you go. So and yeah, all happy with that. So let's load it in. That is done. So now let's go online. Let me to finish it up, and then we're gonna go online and make sure that is all singing and dancing. So let's go online, and if all going well, all of them should have a green tick to it. and it is happy dappy. And there we go. So our system now is fully set up and is ready to be worked on, and yeah, so pretty much start programming. So from there on, it's pretty much to give you ideas if something new gets added to the system. Actually, let's get back onto the CPU, and I'm going to show you a couple of things to look out for if you're getting some SF faults. SF fault is often comes from hardware configurations or hardware missing. It's very often because some form of hardware somewhere gets lost or burnt out, or something happens to the hardware, it gets missing, and SF comes up, and then you need to find out which one is actually missing. So let's jump back onto the PLC and have a look at some of the faults you could possibly have. So what we're going to do in here, we are sort of going to simulate a possible fault. And one of the common faults is when the card goes dead. So basically the card becomes faulty and no longer functions. And when that happens, let's say I will move one of the cards up. And as you can see, the card just got disconnected. In your case, could have been the card gone faulty or dead or no longer is responding to CPU. You will receive one SF error. Is one of the errors one of the errors that can come in via the SF, which is only one way really for you to find out is actually to connect an app to software and have a look at it, unless there's a HMI, and HMI is able to display you that problem. Because really, as you can see down there, you can't really see what's going on unless you know that there's a light right there not supposed to be on, and they're not. And so again, it's all guessing game. But the best way to do it is connecting to the laptop. So let me just push that back on. So you can see it's not resetting yet because it requires to reset the memory. So let me remove my video down now because I'm trying to go through the OBS still. So you can see I've seen a error in here. So once you load up your configuration, hopefully you do have a source file and you can just load it up, go online and quickly see it. If you don't, you have to like sort of create this device view yourself, making sure all the necessary cards are in there. So you go online, it tells you, look at that card down there has disappeared. And if you want to see what's going on in here, which is Siemens got a fantastic piece of help when it comes down to diagnosing faults within the system. So as you can see, by clicking for more information on here. So by the way, click in Diagnostics. If you click on that spanner, just click Diagnostics if it's not on there. So as you can see, IO module stopped. Stopped due to IO management, sorry, and here we go. It's just the first one in here. Something has happened. If you want to learn a bit more about the event, just click Help on Event. Sometimes it takes quite a bit to open up. So let's wait for it. Because it's a massive piece of information. It's like a huge PDF, I would call it. It's just an information system, or system information, I would call it. So it's basically going to take you straight to this sort of explanation about these faults. So as you can see down here, the CPU has detected a change to the actual IO configuration. A module has been inserted or removed in run mode. And blah blah, you can read up and blah blah blah, bad electrical contacts, make sure that the modules are screwed in or racked correctly. And it sort of gives you the most common problems that this kind of error could be causing it. So yeah, without the best thing is to have the TIA Portal, or it's handy, and of course as well the professional version would work very well. By the way, you can get a 20 just in case you're running into serious trouble and you really, let me reset this guy, really need to find out what's going on with their system. You can do that. You get 21 days trial you can get from Siemens, but you do need to get in touch with Siemens for it. So get your system running, or get your system running. You have yes, it's 21 days free trial of professional version. After that, unfortunately, you will have to buy it. So there we go. So we're going to reset, going back online. System should be all healthy and singing and dancing. And there we are. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for the date. So I think the most common fault I was going to point out. Obviously, we will playing up a bit more faults in the future, but that's again in the next future videos, because we've got quite a lot to cover on the S300s. I've got a ton of cards to go through. So yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, so hopefully it's helping you out and giving you a better understanding of this particular PLC family. And so, and if you do have one, do have this family in there, hopefully he's giving you some good ideas on how to manage your systems better. So yeah, and yeah, that's what we're gonna do. In the next video, we're gonna be jumping straight into wiring. So how to wire inputs and the outputs, and have a look at the different types of cards that we've got in here. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and if you liked the video, don't forget to smash that like, and subscribe if you're new to the channel, if you like what we're doing here. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.